Hi. So I know we talk about the liver all the time, but today I want to take some time to give a little respect to the less sung, sort of lower sidekick of the detox powerhouse to the liver, which are the kidneys, right? They are part of this detoxification system and they deserve our care and attention. And especially as we are moving towards winter, which is in Chinese medicine, the water season, which is associated with the kidneys, it's a good time to consider how we might support these organs, especially if you're doing any kind of detoxification, healing work. You really need to make sure that you are keeping an eye on those kidneys and taking good care of them. So what do we know about the kidneys? Well, as the liver filters, the liver mainly detoxes basically fat soluble toxins and processes fat soluble byproducts. That's why we see hormones, everything, anything that can be tagged or attached to fat or is fat soluble is handled by the liver. Now, on its flip side, anything that is water soluble is basically handled by these kidney systems, which are just such an incredible organ. It's like we have within our bodies all of the ecosystem basically of the earth. And the kidneys, I see them as like, they're like the trickling streams with the algae and the little pond creatures that filter everything, and like balance everything and like send it back into the blood just like at the perfect levels, with everything just right. So and like a lot of the salt, a lot of the water soluble things are just like they're benign products of the body, salts and different electrolytes. So we're just kind of the kidneys are monitoring them and managing them. In Chinese medicine, the kidneys are also considered the seat of the Jing. The Jing is like the life force. It's like the seed life force that we come, that we're born with, that we have kind of for our whole lives. So caretaking the kidneys in Chinese medicine is really top priority because that is where our precious life seed energy, sort of vital force, is housed, and we only have so much, and eventually it can run out. And that water element, which is associated with the kidneys, is also associated with fear. So fear is the emotion that corresponds with the water element. So also, if we're managing, looking at fear, the emotion, that is going to have a lot to do with the kidneys, and both, it impacts both ways. So it's like, if the kidneys aren't doing so well, we might have more fear. And if we're having more fear or anxiety, we might be impacting our kidneys in a negative way. And of course, can't forget that the kidneys, on top of the kidneys, are the adrenals. So they're a really close system together. They're a close set. And so whenever we think about treating the kidneys well, we're also going to be treating the adrenals well, which also has to do with all of that stress, fear, managing life. The adrenals are the ones taking care of all of those like stress hormones and a lot of hormones. So, what are some ways that we can easily start taking care of our kidneys? Well, one of the main ones is making sure we give ample resources that it needs, mainly high quality filtered water and the salts, the electrolytes, potassium, magnesium, chloride. These are some of the main electrolytes. And of course, all the minerals, water soluble minerals are also going to fall into this category. So there are so many precious trace minerals that our body needs as well. So, and just while we're on that, broths and seaweeds and things like that, juices, teas, mineral teas, herbal teas, all of these things are very rich in minerals, which we're also going to get to some of those food things. But So some of the easiest ways to get electrolytes and keep the kidneys happy is lemon water. So I know I talk about this one a lot, but it's because it's so simple and so easy and yet so amazingly effective. So lemon already contains a lot of different minerals and compounds that are helpful, electrolytes, some vitamin C. The kidneys love that sort of sour, I don't know if it's a little bit astringent, but really sour. Again, like the cranberries, cranberries have a high affinity for the kidneys as well. So cranberry juice, cranberries, any form of cranberries can also be really great. So in the lemon water, you can also add a little bit of sea salt. In this day and age, we are low in minerals. We are low in minerals. We're burning through our minerals. We're burning through our electrolytes. So we kind of need more than you might think. And salt has really acts differently when it's in water versus when you just put it on your food. It's actually like a totally different thing for the body, because when salt is dissolved into water, it becomes ionic. And the salt and the water, they like become a solution, an ionic solution. And that the body knows that kind of thing. It's like marine plasma, plasma like the blood, like the ocean. We come from the ocean. So, just because you're salting your food doesn't mean that you're necessarily getting that kind of hydration that really works well for the body, that marine plasma. So make sure you get some of that in there. And then if you want to like kind of get to the top of your game with the hydration electrolyte drinks, really it's the Adrenal Cocktail. It's kind of the holy grail. You got a combination of salt, potassium, and vitamin C. And this, they're specifically talking about this is super nourishing and helpful for the adrenals, but I believe it also really, really helps the kidneys. They're very closely connected. I actually add magnesium to that recipe, and I'm going to offer you my recipe if you want it. You can also Google, there's a lot of different recipes out there. But that is something I really encourage most people and all of my clients who are doing detoxing to get on the Adrenal Cocktail train. There's nothing better for supporting those electrolytes. And it's a way that also you can make it at home. You can save a lot of money. You don't have to buy those electrolyte things. So I will share that recipe with you if you'd like. Okay, and on the herbs, so of course you have Chanca Piedra, which is a stone breaker. So that one is really great if you have kidney stones or you have buildup in your kidneys. You can grab that as a tincture. That's Chanca Piedra stone breaker. That one can be good, but of course pulse on and off with it. So maybe 1 to 3 weeks on and then take a break from it for a while. Again, cranberries. And then, if we look at the more Chinese medicine thing, another one that's supposedly really good for the kidneys is actually like black sesame seeds. So the kidneys being the home of the Jing, the seed of the Jing, they also directly connected to like how dark our hair is, how long our hair is, when our hair is when we're going to start losing our hair, or graying or things like this. It's that Jing, it's that vital life essence. And so things that are small and concentrated and really dark, the dark pigmentation that represents that Jing, the black, dark purple, dark blue of the water element. So you can try some of that too, some of those dark beans as well. But the black sesame is like really powerful also with that like really concentrated nutrients, minerals, and that good fat. I wanted to share one of my absolutely favorite kidney support techniques with you guys, which is wrapping the kidneys. So one of the things about the kidneys, so again, the water element in Chinese medicine associated with the kidneys, associated with fear, is also associated with cold. Okay, so there's a lot of this like balancing, like, are we getting too cold? So a lot of the ways we can take care of the kidneys are protecting the warmth of our body, because the Jing is like the Jing is that vital life force energy, which is also heat. So for instance, whenever your body has to warm something up, it uses some of that energy. But one of the ways that I have been recovering my kidneys from a long teenage life of underdressing and not taking care of my legs and my feet is by wrapping my kidneys. So you basically need like a scarf or a blanket or a towel. I have something folded in half the long ways. This is the way I like to do it. I take the folded edge and I hold it out like this. I bring it up against my belly like that, and I tuck one end around, and then I tuck the other end around, and then I just tuck it in. Now, typically I do this with a wool, like a wool pashmina, or you could use silk, you can use cashmere, you can use wool, you can use yak, this is cotton. So I have different ones for different seasons. But this is not only totally wrapping and protecting the kidneys, they love this, but also for women, the womb, which is really, which is a really nice thing to do for your body. So I encourage you to give that a try if you haven't ever, especially going into the windy months, or the chill. You don't want to get too much chill into this area, these burners of the kidneys and the womb. On that same note, super important to have good footwear and to keep your feet warm. So, just monitor your feet, check in with them. Are they cold? Are they warm enough? Sometimes you need to change your socks, put on some slippers, going into this season, we can be a little more careful with that. And then in between the feet and the kidneys, let's make sure our legs are warm enough as well. So this is going to actually preserve your life force energy, preserve your Jing, and support your kidneys. Now, one other little thing is for advanced and adventurous practitioners only, which would be another way to support the kidneys, which is pretty awesome, is if you're ready for it, is urine therapy. Because basically what comes out from the kidneys excretion is a blood plasma filtrate. It's like a super filtered blood plasma, basically. And it contains the blueprint of everything that is happening in our entire body and entire system. So it's like, talk about homeopathic information data source. That's what the urine is. And so you can take however much you want, really. There's really no upper limit and there's really no lower limit. So anything can have a positive health impact. So even if you just want to take one drop and put it under your tongue, that starts a feedback loop from this crystalline blood plasma, a feedback loop to help your body know what's going on and therefore how best to address it. I'm not going to get too into that particular option in therapy right now. I just wanted to bring it up that it is an amazing way to give feedback for the kidney and preserve a lot of these electrolytes and salts as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this was helpful. Little masterclass on the kidneys. And if you do want my particular adrenal cocktail recipe, go ahead and drop a Adrenals comment below and I will just send it to you. Hope you all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. See you on a song.